up, YouTube? It's your girl DeeDee, and welcome back to the channel. So I am back with this story that I recently kind of stumbled up on because I was not familiar with this couple, but I did see her in an interview recently, and then there was talks that they were getting divorced. So there's this couple, right? They're the stars of this TLC show called Doubling Down with the Derricos, and I recently found out that they're getting a divorce after 19 years of marriage, and they have 14 children together. The father is ordered to pay $1,000 a month in child support. I found this interesting, you know, because I find it interesting especially when I see a married couple who has a lot of children, because me and my husband, we have, you know, quite a bit of children together. And so when I see couples like this divorce, it always piques my interest. And I read a little bit from the article, and I was looking to see why they were getting a divorce. I'm still not sure why they decided to get a divorce, because the interview that I saw her on, she was speaking very highly of her husband. She was talking about how they manage the children, all of the children, what their household looks like and how they do school. I think the kids were homeschooled, you know, so it's something that I can relate to. And then as soon as I started looking into them, they're getting a divorce. In the article, she did say that there is more that she wants to do. She says, I just have to figure out the right path in order to get to where I want to be and go. She elaborated that she's put everybody else first in her life, and she's saying it's time for her to do me. Now, I don't know this couple, but when I hear stuff like this, or it's time for me to do me, that's a bit unsettling to me, because when you still have young children, it's not all about you. I'm sorry. You have to do more to make sure that your children are good. And I understand the idea of wanting to put yourself first finally, but how can you actually do that when you still have a bunch of minor kids in your care? It's kind of hard to do, in my opinion, coming from a woman who's had, you know, a lot of young children in the home and having to take care of them. It's never fully about you. It's always going to be about those kids. So I find that interesting when I hear people say that it's time for you to focus on you, which makes me think, and I could be wrong, that maybe she was the one who wanted the divorce because she felt like maybe the husband was getting in the way of her success or her doing things for herself. I don't know. But in many cases, that is the case. Let's look at Tia Mowry. She didn't have any real reason as to why she divorced her husband, except for the fact that she wanted to put herself first. And you hear that's a common theme among women who tend to leave their husbands or break up their families. So the article says on June 4th, Dion and Karen, that's their names, filed for divorce after 19 years of marriage. Their split became official when a judge signed off on the divorce 2 days later. In a statement shared with People shortly after the news, the estranged couple revealed that they were unified in parenting their 14 children following their separation. They go on to say, together we remain unified in the parenting of our 14 beautiful children. Their well-being is our priority. We thank everyone for their understanding and support as we move forward for the good of our family. And that's interesting, you know, and like I said, I don't know what was going on in their marriage, you know, as I don't think the public should be privy to your personal marital affairs, but a lot of people put their business out there. So when you put out the good, you need to put out the bad. If you expose your family to the public, then I think it's only right that you let the public know what's going on, whether it's good or bad. That's just my thoughts on it. Because either you're going to be secretive about your marriage and not let people in, or if you're going to open up your life and your home for the public for personal gain, then you need to be able to let the public know why y'all are separating, why y'all getting a divorce, because these people buy into your stories. These people feed into your livelihood. These people support your livelihood and your brand. They watch your show because the fact that you have a husband and a wife team with all these children and you guys are raising a family and you're doing well, people are interested in that. But when it fizzles out or falls apart, people want to know why, because they were invested into your narrative. So if you're deciding to get a divorce, people want to know why. And I think people should know. So if it was just the fact that she wants to do her own thing and finally put herself first, if that's the case, that's a selfish mindset, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. Once again, I don't know the real reason, but if that is, that's a selfish thing to do, because if you guys have to still come together to raise your children and make sure that they're good and they're the number one priority, what's the point of the divorce? It's always mind-boggling to me how people could be married for so long and you go through ups and downs, and then you create this huge family, and then all of a sudden you want to leave or whatever, you can't work it out. That's mind-boggling to me. It really is. And I know as a married woman or anybody in a relationship, you go through ups and downs. Relationships are tough, but you vowed to stay together and work it out. And when you create such a large family, that's even more of an incentive, in my opinion, to make sure you work it out for the sake of you and those children, because those children don't understand divorce. They don't understand mommy and daddy are splitting up and mommy and daddy are going two different ways and they living in different houses. That really affect these children. They don't really thrive in that environment because they're so used to having both parents there. So I thought this was interesting. It's like, damn, you wondering, can people stay together in this climate? Like, are people really committed to each other? Can married couples really stand the test of time? This is the question that people have, and this is why a lot of people who aren't married are deterred from getting married, because they're like, none of these marriages are gonna work, and people don't want to waste their time. They don't like the idea that you can be with somebody who's supposed to love you and y'all supposed to love each other, y'all supposed to actually honor your vows, that you can't do it, and then y'all end up breaking up, and then y'all create this massive family just to walk away and live y'all separate lives. It's kind of crazy to me. In the interview, she didn't speak on anything negative. She was talking about her husband in a good way, that he was a great father and things like that. So I'm still curious, because I tried to look to see what were the reasons for the divorce, and I still didn't see it. The only thing I heard her say is it's time for her to put herself first. Like I said, usually when I hear that, it's typically the woman who wanted the divorce because maybe she felt like the marriage was stifling or what. I don't know. But y'all let me know if y'all have ever heard of the Derricos, if y'all ever heard of their story, if you ever heard anything about them. But baby, I know they got a lot of kids. Now she's a single mother with all these kids, and clearly he's still in the kids' lives, so that's a good thing. But why the divorce? I don't understand. Why go such a long time to divorce? I don't get it. I just don't get it. Unless there was something that they're not telling us or don't want to tell us. Maybe there was some infidelity or abuse or something, because those are the reasons I was kind of understand why you would walk away, but they're not saying that, so I can't assume that. And I'm not going to assume that he cheated. I'm not going to assume that anybody cheated, because they didn't mention infidelity. They didn't mention abuse. They seem like a good couple. They seem happy with their kids, and that's what's astonishing to a lot of people, because people are like, how are you still sane, and how are y'all doing this with all these kids? Y'all ain't crazy? Their kids didn't drive y'all crazy? Y'all didn't drive each other crazy? That's the main thing that people look at. So to have a couple who seem to be thriving with this massive family, you like, oh wow, they really doing it. They really, they're really committed to each other. They're really working well together. And then only to find out they're getting a divorce is very mind-boggling. Listen, I'm gonna leave it here. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this story. Definitely chime in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts on this. Do y'all think that she is the one who filed for the divorce and wanted to get away, to feel more comfortable doing her own thing? Or do you think that there was something more sinister going on in this relationship? Let me know in the comments, y'all. Comment, like, subscribe. Y'all know what it is. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.